League final basu say ya was say it to me digest into the game. Nothing so ye hwe niam nyina ebekọ so ewo game nim if say ye tenasia ye collective analysis. Nothing so no ya hwe both teams no woma ho oden a woma de eba be ra game nim. Nothing so ya hwe the history, the start ene niama ekeka ho a ebetumi enya impact ewo game no emu. Enti ye analysis a na afin so no yet to me actually ya adwene mu se ebia game no ha na ebeko per the analysis, per the history, per the statistics no. But I think say on the field of play ankasa no ebia sania ye beye analysis no, the dynamics of the game no ebi to me assesa. So that's how football no is it here. But my member two teams in nyina abaso, both Paris Saint-Germain and afin so no Inter Milan. Na member coaches so abaso Luis Enrique and Simeone Inzaghi, because minu mienu nyina ebeye adwene se ye share season na se no so wo hwe these teams performance na womu ehwo ye no obi a ye bookmaker bia odi football na echi no say ye ka percentage of teams na ye hunu say afi Champions League omo bebo final menye sure say PSG any Inter Milan ye ma womumpo beye 20% chance Oma BPM our Champions League final. But I think say Motimbo womabo right from day one ebepem this time and ama womaba bedu the grand finale. So I was say it to me ebo womabaso because womo ayade ekodin omako edi ababedu the final no enye ekoketwa. So oma babedu honoma omu deserve I was say it to me bo womabaso. But kwasi we share proud to this game. Amanfo adwentra womo akire womo assessment woma ye ni nyina no once bookmakers ni nyina no ama Paris Saint-Germain beye 56.6% say ombe wini ene game ebekoso ena Inter de 43.4% chance say womo so betumi wini Champions League no. But kwasi ma yenkom kakra na afenso no yenhwe all the history and then the stats ewo game we emu na yenhwe baby a ebekwa kosi ansana tactically no yetumi ababe wuram with the formations teams no edibe kom per the approach womo edibe wura this game kwasi sanya na America no mahu say in the history of the Champions League no this particular competition no we na the first time Paris Saint-Germain any Inter Milan womu Asia. But sawosha competition nankasa na we game we ababeye the second time France team Asia Italy team our Champions League final. The first time I see ye no medical catcher will say Olympic Marseille any AC Milan ena omushia ye 1993 ena sa game no ekọ na wie ye no na Marseille wini by 1-0. Eje cap no edifi AC Milan ensem. Enti akwa say the first time France team eje Champions League no. Kwasi niatia ni say oji edifi Italian team ehonom. And at this season anka sanso no yenya French team ono so Champions League no on to me NGB. Enti kwa yenia repeat ye no in the year 1993 no anase say enebeko because that is another history world football ni ma favor the French team over the final against the Italian team. Enti ye hwe nim say sa game no nso no dynamics fufra ewom ne say sa match no mo boy ye nso ano eye Munich hono ma e no mo boy ye ema Marcel ewini ye this time around no Munich ehonso ena game ne yeden baso enti kwasi se eba in terms of that aspect no ewo Champions League na history no e favor Paris Saint-Germain enti yenhwe se sen ene betumi akọ ediafa kwasi wonim se PSG we na ye the second time in the history of the Champions League na womo airco final. The first one omukọ ye no omu lose at my buyer and afei so sa wo hwe team ani din edi Inter Milan final way and the 7th time all Champions League final. Okay. But ni nemu no ono so awini emumi ensape. Now, kwasi yembra in terms of performance on the aspect of these two teams in regards to one season, no, and then in the Champions League as a whole. Kwasi, what him say? Champions League nimno. This time around, say pay teams performance na tumi akwa anima. Wo kan ubetumi ayi Paris Saint-Germain in terms of goals and a threat eputu against opponent. Because say we the top 5 European leagues now. This particular season, so we FC Barcelona in all competition or share 174 goals. No, Paris Saint-Germain and the second best performing teams in terms of goal scoring. Over the top 5 European leagues are also share 147 goals. And in terms of goal scoring, Paris Saint-Germain team no one more very very good this particular season. Kwasi enu no so no say ye can expected goals this season in all competition the top 5 European leagues now. We FC Barcelona team now otumi create expected goals of averagely 145.3 no. Team osan edi ho no Paris Saint-Germain also expected goals otumi created this season in all competition the top 5 European leagues no 142.5. And in terms of attacking threat now, Paris Saint-Germain and so far better than the team needing Eddie Inter Milan. Kwasi say ye share this season now. When we say Paris Saint-Germain team nankasano wabo 1074 shots. Now 1074 shots no 450 on target. Okay. And PSG attacking threat now can in the numbers no and yet just a mere fluke. But the performance nankasano to me actually on the field. And I was sure out of 450 shot on target no mabono PSG create big chances are 280. So big chances and your chances are easy so be to me ashe. Into this season no Paris Saint-Germain out of 450 shot no 280 big chances and a PSG to me then are creating. Because now so we Manchester City this season when you 2,239 team what to me any more touches our opponent half now. We Manchester City or no why no 2,239 no. The next team also IAB team and team at the Paris Saint-Germain. And about opposition half no team when you more touches no. We Man City Paris Saint-Germain and so any 2,207 touches our opponent half. And the attacking threat at Paris Saint-Germain per the start no any analysis no when we do this game no and no nema pandits no ehunu ni say womu your favorite because omu conversion rate no so dia soro. Now kwasi Luis Enrique record bia ono so ehwese obetumi aye as the head coach for team and team at the Paris Saint-Germain no kwasi onim say 10 years nie na oje Champions League ni bio oje Edema FC Barcelona sure kwasi Luis Enrique eje the Champions League no Edema Barca no okoshia Italian team in 2015 against Juventus ana oshe Juventus ana odeje ye na kwasi se osan eba beje this year Champions League na oba beye the 6th manager what to me winning the Champions League trophy with 2 different clubs. After say Carlo Ancelotti dema AC Milan and Real Madrid and Otmar Hitzfeld dema Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. Jupp Heynckes dema Madrid and Bayern Munich. Jose Mourinho dema Porto and Inter and Pep Guardiola dema Barcelona and Man City. And he said Luis Enrique one also be 6th manager in the history of the Champions League, waje ama 2 different clubs. And no another record that Luis Enrique said obetumi aiden aye. Kwasi Sir Luis Enrique etumi win Champions League we ya na ono so aba be ram the treble trend no. Okay. If he said oje treble in 2015 no edema FC Barcelona. And he said ono so to me win ya obeba be the second manager what to me a winning treble edema 2 different clubs after Pep Guardiola edema Barca and Manchester City. And he one baby Luis Enrique so or building a coaching career no edifi if say utmi we need this particular Champions League no. And he kwasi I think say a match wo hwe bibia mu na ko in favor of Paris Saint-Germain. Now kwasi say wo hwe the most interesting part of this particular game now. When we say this particular season nankasa no. When we say Paris Saint-Germain team no wo hwe team what to me about 10 matches what to me ashe more goals. Paris Saint-Germain this particular season I was singing European Championship nim no and the first time one more to me about 10 games in the Champions League one more ashe more goals which is 33 goals and one more ashe. And this season ankasa no e say Paris Saint-Germain performance no there was really pa. Because now what's your PSG when we said this season no almost to me register the most shots per game which is 18.6 in the Champions League. The last time a PSG bisano it happened in 2003 2004 almost ekuta the same number of average shot per game which is 18.6. Into this particular season also no ama one more performance na aiden akọ womanimi pa. Now kwasi mami shifting free PSG one my film na fe member Inter Milan. Now kwasi ade aba ko ne se wo hwe Simone Inzaghi ene ni team a din ede Inter Milan kwasi ye na ye ka se womo very solid. When him say this season ankasa no womo a concede 11 goals. Kwasi 11 goals no ma concede no. The last time our share opponent we are concede more game womo boy in the semi-finals against Barca concede 6 goals. And he prior to that semi-final no wo games boy from group stage abepem quarter final na no ma concede just 5 goals. Barcelona game no and concede more goals 6 goals against a single team in the Champions League. And kwasi the fact of the matter in also and say Inter Milan keep 8 clean sheets this season our Champions League nimo 8 clean sheets. Wow. And Inter Milan to me keep so far as say the attacking threat of team and the Paris Saint-Germain no defensively no so no Inter Milan a threat at the Paris Saint-Germain. And another game no bad thing. But kwasi my member player ni din ede Jan Soma Abaso. Na me fo say baby Paris baby Inter Milan ababedu ni nyina no. Aseda kase bi e wo honom ede ma the playing body na omfa ma mu goalkeeper Jan Soma. Okay. Kwasi me kan ni nyina akwa akosi say when him said this year our Champions League nim no goalkeeper bia ni honom a this time around no what to me I concede 5 + 7 to 10 expected goals. What to me I save mu 15.9 on target. And about in terms of say goalkeeper even me nu krampo na what to me I face your own goals so it to me APM. So it clearly tells you say Jan Soma very good and this season so no we keep 7 clean sheets. Out of 8 clean sheets now PSG Inter team no one more are conceding. This time around no ono kwa to me abomaden say we keep 7 clean sheets. Wow. This season we goalkeeper ni the Thibaut Courtois 52, Emiliano Martinez 49. Yet to me I register more saves our competition this season. The next goalkeeper no Yansoma, which is 48. And about in terms of saves in so goalkeeper no keeper or dear papa. Now, kwasi se wo hwe Inter Milan team na goalkeeper ni din ade Yansoma. Wo hwe the tournament na goalkeeper were to me are considered the highest shot no Yansoma 214. And I were to me I were to me are considered. But in nyina mu no 17.3 and a expected goal to me akọ goalkeeper na yeden eso a nyina mu no Inter Milan as a club no wo hwe the expected goals or to me a face averagely the number of ones omo to me aye very solid wo no 0.08. That tells you the defensive efficiency of Inter Milan omo team no omo very very good. But see Francesco Acerbi as a veteran for Inter Milan team no and also chase another record be. What him say our 37 years 110 days. Now Osha and also eba beye the fourth oldest outfit player where to me a started Champions League final. And the players are not woman yini woman to me and shas our Champions League final no history no. Oroni de Paolo Maldini at the AC Milano in the year 2007. Now over 38 years, 331 days. And Lothar Matthias and so our buyer in 1999. Now when you're 38 years, 66 days. And Ryan Giggs from Manchester United in 2011. Now over 37 years, 130 days. And Francesco Acerbi started game we are. Also by Vibro as the fourth oldest outfield player, where to me started Champions League final with the age of 37 years, 110 days. And the Yansha says, saying, and I able to me akọ ewom. Now, kwasi, sir, what this particular game now, Barcelona, I think, sir, a lot of stats, and I to me a room this time around. Inter Milan, to me, Asher 26 Champions League goal this season. Now, no ababeye a joint record in the history of the club. Our Champions League says season where to me Asher more goals because in 2002, 2003, the same number of goals and Inter to me then Asher. And he said this final Inter to me Asher goal. That means omo a breaky sa record no. Not this year no ababeye year Inter Milan throughout the Champions League season no Asher more goals. Enti yehwe sania sa game na beden and also able to me akọ. Now kwasi a lot of factors, a lot of stats and air so in this Champions League game. Now when him say Inter Milan sania meka ye no, un said the 7th appearance our Champions League final no. Kwasi right from 1964, 1965 and 2010 and Inter EDJ Champions League no. Enti yehwe say saying ena ebe to me akọ na yenhwe say saying ena womuso no ebe to me awram na mame embra on the tactical aspect because of a brainity because yen na ye analysis ewa ha yehwe both teams no players omodi omo eba formations are teams no omo ye den womo ebo now say wo hwe Paris Saint-Germain team na yen na ye gitum say the strength of omu team nankasa no a teamwork. And individually no players no ya de pa especially omanim honom no. Kwasi wonim say PSG team nankasa ye omun kan say bia striker o mani tada no so Goncalo Ramos. But say ono kra no on shada enya the starting lineup no ingram. And say wo hwe even Inter Milan team a ekura wo mo ne krampo na Aqua is a young team.
Very young.
Very, very young. Yeah. And Osha Bola, Wama Ba, Oma Chilesampa, they deserve to be in the final. Shajawo Neves in the midfield. Shavitina, and Fabian Luis Pena. But see, these are midfielders. One shot then the real aggressiveness. Ewa Wamumo. Wamu a flair. And Omo your players are. Almost holding on into the ball. unlike say oko other teams ni bia e be to me anya the aggressive midfielders no omo mu ni bi and akwakoye a typical style of Spanish coaches no because of the kind of football. Yes, football no more born. Definitely Paris Saint-Germain ebe hold with the ball. Amubo possess this football because no and a coach no e dey atete omo. Enti no say team a obosa attacking football no or making sure say obe hold on the ball. But kwesi ade a yehu ye e was semi-finals Inter against Barca no. Say Inter etumi e repeat the same thing. Me for say ebe ye problem e dey amomo. If you say Paris Saint-Germain omo wo players a omo ebe tumi are utilizing the spaces a Inter Milan for no ebeja with what we witnessed against Barca. Because these players are João Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Luis Pena. When we are midfielders because of our creativity e was rentino, omo utilizing spaces. And now, three players no more than him, the Sally Due, Osman Dembele, and the Kwaraslariano. Some players when so many players are omo creative spaces. That is the reason why we Barcelona one more and a team or marshal more goals across the top 5 European leagues now. And expected goals and big chances and so on my creating more. And Tiniquasi say Inter Milan ebe stay compact. Now I think say omo man marking me feel say enube to me abo more because Paris Saint-Germain because of say omo players near flare no more wingers no stretch wide no more pace into no. These are the players so omo one marking ball na difficult for them to play. And no be na yetumi hu e wo Champions League nim this season teams one ma approach Paris Saint-Germain e was our aspect na nya results. But kwa ben so na Inter Milan ebeye because ye hu bi against Barca na ye fa ye obi te se Lamine Yamal ye na ye hu ni ekosi ye hwe Rafinha mo Dani Olmo eno na Inter koye ya Barca e punish omo e we bra na omo 2 goals down e ma Barca bet ye kra e take lead. So if say Simone Inzaghi e ba be say be home, the only thing that they have to do is say they have to make sure say midfield one no on be say compact because Luis Enrique e wo 2 tactics or the run games in West Edina or try utilizing midfield any wings because our wingers are one more flare ball no money motwe omo ni America too with the exception of Dembele or no in terms of nego decision sometimes are very poor no sa abrantia your friend the Sally Due no or ye very threat on a Kwaraslaria. These players no say Inter Milan for and to me am pet kwan yon bet me a stop omo e wa attacking threat on the be more man kwasi a different story altogether. Okay. But notwithstanding no so we share Inter Milan team ni so a Lautaro Martinez and Marcos Thuram unso man lead wo attack no but kwasi you know the number of games almost style of play no the same thing. Enti ade ba kwa me feel say ebe to me aboa in Paris Saint-Germain team no in terms of omu defense no and say sa players we no wo ma the opportunity say omu benya free space e we bra Inter air transition so wo ma sa chance na anytime you make to me ashe because omu ye strikers omu ye unpredictable. E wom say omo say there ni flare omo de bet twetwe de. But kwasi this are strikers and so omo ye very dangerous. Omo ye dangerous e wo air. And after so no say wo be ma wo the free space omo the one on one on behalf because counter no omo ye very good because anytime be Inter echo counter be no omo nya numbers because of omo style of play no. Enti eno na wo say Luis Enrique Eden etumi ehwe. Okay. But kwasi game we there me there maka me say history ebe 60% in this game. Now say history 60% there. The history favor Paris and Germany because the 6th timer Jabo Champions League or Munich no at the end of the day 4 of them no teams are woman yi bida no magic e wo Munich PSG ndi bida ena the history no so much say team bia obekọ final bia went to me anje no the next final obekọ no so no otumi je trophy no enti eno so another history a favor team and the Paris Saint-Germain kwesi this season nankasa no ya she dan hu a number of teams omo for so many years and omo ngi trophy ama omo so atumi age PSG omo so Champions League ne kra de omo nyi bida enti no ebetumi aba be the first time be the history of the club how metumi age the Champions League enti another history no so no e favor Paris Saint-Germain enti kwesi eba ne ball ne boa PSG a favorite per the start and in terms of history in so PSG a favorite enti media medina no so na mako e dia ma PSG but sanya bidi kan kai no analysis ye baby bia but on the field of play even one mistake it to miss the dynamics